and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And welcome to the Consumer Quarterback Show. So glad you're here with us, spending some time with us. We'd love to help you win in any marketplace, help you win in real estate, credit, finance, mortgage, so many areas that we help you. It's the Consumer Quarterback Show, all about those consumer advocate tips, things to help you avoid commission-based advice, make you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And I'm Brandon Rhymes, of course, your host. We got a great lineup for you today. Jordan Bowman's going to be in the studio. She is the AC guy of Tampa Bay, office manager. Michael Watkins, he's principal Tampa Bay Advisory, 401k Revival author. And we have also our friend Diane VANCE, Fairway Independent Mortgage, DianeVance.com, a top lender in the country. We're going to talk about a cash guarantee program that they have where they can actually close on the deal if things were to kind of go sideways, as they sometimes do in the real estate mortgage title world. So kind of laughing a little bit to myself here because there's a couple of deals that we're involved with right now that have some issues where we could have used this cash guarantee. And so, we'll jump into that a little bit later. I want to talk to you about Lifeguard Imaging. Our friend Martine Gramatica, Super Bowl winner, Lou Groza Award winner, is a expert contributor on the show now, and his program is Lifeguard Imaging. And Lifeguard Imaging, saving lives through early detection. And I went in and got a scan just last week, and luckily everything came back real clear. But it's checking everything from your esophagus down to your pelvis, so all of your internal organs, your main internal organs, your lungs, of course, all the different internal, the colon. They have a virtual colonoscopy. You've got Lifeguard Imaging right here in Tampa Bay over on Rocky Point, and they're offering a free heart scan, complimentary scan. So if you understand, what's going on in the health world, a lot of people are experiencing issues with their heart related to these different immunizations and things of that nature. Reach out. We'd love to talk to you. 813-917-1894. And we'll get you in touch with Super Bowl winner Martine Gramatica, former Buccaneers football kicker. It's going to be on tomorrow's show, by the way, and you can hear it straight from him. Lifeguard Imaging, saving lives through early detection. Just reach out to the show hotline, 813-917-1894 for your free heart scan. All right, we got a great lineup for you here today. Plus, like to feature our listings. We like to feature our real estate properties and help our sellers profit more and sell faster. We got a property at 700 North Osceola Avenue. This is Clearwater. It's on the waterfront. Beautiful property. You got a waterfront pool right there as well, saltwater pool. 405 is the unit number. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath property, 700 North Osceola, and you've got the views of the Clearwater Bridge, so it's a short bike ride or even walk over to the beach. 700 North Osceola, Clearwater. Beautiful condo, almost 1,600 square feet, and you've got marble flooring, granite countertops, saltwater pool, gym, private boat dock as well, and great opportunity to buy real estate here in beautiful Tampa Bay, one of the hottest real estate markets on the planet. And you can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
All right, Diane VANCE, welcome back to the Consumer Quarterback Show. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Excellent.
How's that beautiful baby? He's gorgeous.
Thank you.
He's so pretty.
It's funny. You wake him up and he just smiles at you. I'm like, I wish my teenager would do that.
That does not happen.
Yeah, a little bit different wake up there. Leave me alone. Anyway, so
if you could always keep them that way, wouldn't that be great?
Oh man, it's so cute to see him smile back at you like that, right? First thing in the morning.
Great mood. It makes your day, doesn't it?
It really does. Let's jump right into that cash guarantee. I think that's such a strong program now, especially when we're seeing a little bit of a softening in the market. And I want to get your perspective on what you're seeing. Our listeners, our audience has heard me talk about it over the last week or two. Softening in the market, Federal Reserve raising rates reduces the buyer pool. Don't get me wrong, we're still a hot market here in Tampa Bay, but I'm seeing a little bit of a slowdown.
Yes, we are too. Now, of course, people are kind of used to, they all know interest rates have moved, and it was a little bit of a shock because they went up very fast. However, they're still very good. Historically, they're very good. This would have actually happened back in 2020 had COVID not happened. The interest rate would have been this because the feds were starting to ease up on buying mortgage-backed securities. But Fairway is always trying to think of how can we actually help the market and things like that. So we came out with a cash guarantee. Basically, if the buyer comes to us to go. First, they need to come and get fully approved through us, and we send it through underwriting. You have a full approval, and it's good for FHA, VA, conventional, and USDA, but we don't do a lot of USDA here. And then what happens is you end up with, when you find a house, we send an addendum to the contract that we will guarantee that seller that you will close on time. Now, the way it works is that let's say you go out and buy a car and you don't qualify anymore, or we do a credit refresh and we see a collection on your account or something like that, then we will offer to buy the house from the seller, or we will pay them $10,000. So what it does is it's actually giving the seller a comfort zone that they've already been approved, and Fairway is the backup for the cash guarantee that if something does go awry, just like sometimes it happens, then if the appraisal comes in different, we'll offer that appraisal, whatever the appraised value is, but or they can take $10,000. Either way, the seller is protected, and it helps them to feel more comfortable. Buyers can then they can go up against cash offers. This is available for primary, second homes, investment properties, all of those. So it's a real strong product.
Close on time, guarantee, buy or pay $10K.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. Now, Diane, do you ever have a client, sometimes you work through these situations in real estate, and of course, you're kind of talking about the stress levels of our jobs, right? So you work through these things, and you ever have a client say back to you like, man, I couldn't be in the real estate or mortgage industry because of these types of scenarios. I'm like, it's somewhat common for us. We're kind of used to these last minute changes and challenges.
Yes, my clients say that all the time. They're like, I don't know how you do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, well, and I tend to go through more details so that they're aware of what's going on.
Right.
And but it's a lot for a customer, but it's even more for us. But we're very used to it. We know what we're doing. The experience counts. Been in the business for a very long time. So when things come up, for instance, if an appraisal comes up, let's say it comes up short. So let's say a borrower was putting 20% down, and the appraisal comes up short. We can always change that loan to have mortgage insurance, and you still may be bringing the same amount to closing.
Right.
And a lot of loan officers don't think about that. The mortgage insurance is very reasonable now, depending on the credit score, of course, but it's reasonable. They've lowered their premiums last year, and it's very reasonable. So a lot of times when I've actually had buyers, they'll still come in and pay the difference. They may have to come in with, they usually come in with almost what they were expecting to pay in the first place.
Right.
So there's a lot of differences, but without the experience of the loan officer, sometimes they don't think about that.
Yeah.
Sometimes my loan officers don't think about it. So I talk about those things because it will keep the deal together. I mean, my goodness, it takes you so long to find a home that you actually like or love, okay? Right. And then for it to fall out because of whatever reason, I mean, there's ways to keep it together, and so that you don't have to go back out and actually do it again. I mean, it's a tight market still.
Right.
It's not as tight as it was, but it is a tight market. So, people keep thinking it's going to drop, and I think it's going to slow down a bit, but I think it's starting to pick up again because, it's summer, and also people are used to what the interest rates are. It was just a phenomenal thing that interest rates were so low in the last 2 years, and the only reason they were so low is because of COVID. That is the only reason.
Yeah, and that they stayed low, right?
Yep.
So Diane VANCE on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Fairway Independent Mortgage, longtime friend of the program, DianeVance.com. I think she's been on the show for 3 or 4 years now, longtime mortgage expert contributor, a top 3 lender in the country. She's a regional vice president, a regional president, or manager rather, and then so the thing to think about is in these situations is, even though the rates have changed and it's a little bit of an increase, do we still have Diane?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. So what I was going to say is, even though the rates have increased a little bit, we're still at what, 20, 30-year lows? I mean, not 40-year lows? Yes.
We're still, my first home was 8.75, and that was considered really good.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're lower than it was. I've been in the business for 35 years, and I think it's probably the lowest, probably in the last I would say 25 years, 30 years. I mean, it's still they're very good.
Right.
Interest rates are excellent still.
Yeah.
Now, it all depends on your credit.
Right.
But we can help. We can work with that.
Yep. And, so Diane, when you think about this, so we're kind of talking about owner occupants, people that are looking to buy, properties and move into in most cases. What are you seeing on the kind of the flip side, the investor side? What's going on over there?
That seems to be, I think they're slowing down a bit. We still have, the FHFA who makes all the rules for, add-ons for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and all those companies. They actually increased the extra points to the actual risk for investment property. So that makes them a little higher than what primary, it's probably about 1% higher than what primary homes are. We still have people that are purchasing homes as investment properties and condos. So we still have it. It's just, I don't think there's as many as there was before, which may be a good thing for the buyers, the first-time home buyers who are trying to get into a home.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of times people have just a quick question. They don't want to pick up the phone and dial. So, we give out the hotline. But, my email is brimes@kw.com. You can shoot a quick email over if it's just a quick question or scenario you want to run. BRIMES@kw.com, brimes. And, Diane, what do you want? Would you be okay for people emailing you directly
absolutely.
questions?
Of course.
What's the best email for you?
It's Diane, V as in Victor, at Fairway, M as in Mary, C as in cat.com. Or they can text
Fairway.
me. This is my cell phone. 727-647-8199. It is my phone, and I do text back and forth. Just, tell me who you are.
Yeah, exactly. And we do that. We also do the package as well. The rent versus own package. We have a credit package as well. If you have a credit potential issue there and you want to improve the credit, and it's been said that 99% of reports have some type of an error. So if you want to improve your credit, we can help you with that too. But also the rent versus own. I really my heart always goes out for these renters, especially middle income, even lower to middle income folks. We're the ones getting pounded the most, and it's going to get hit by taxes the most by the federal government and all their great programs they're doing right now. But and I say that obviously as ironic, or facetious. But Diane V at Fairway.com, and then also you can reach out for a rent versus own analysis. Just call or text 813-917-1894. You can call or text the hotline 813-917-1894. And let's talk about that rent versus own analysis.
Yeah, so if you tell me what your rent is, please make sure you have your email address. What your rent is, I can tell you approximately what you can purchase. Of course, there's some variables there. I'll probably be a little more conservative because of insurance and taxes, not knowing what that will be. But you're definitely going to be further ahead by purchasing than you are renting. I'm just doing a loan for a young man that is, I think he's paying $1,900 a month, and he purchased a property, and it's like $1,500. So he's actually saving. That's his taxes, insurance, and everything, and he is a homeowner now. So, wow. You really need to think about it, because you're making you're making their mortgage payments for them, or building their wealth. It's time that you build your own.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's there's many advantages too. I mean, just the fact that, and I see it happen a lot when I'm working with this owner and they have a tenant in place, we go under contract. Well, there you go. There's your 30-day notice. So how would you like to know or have that call? Like, hey, by the way, we just went under contract. You got 30 days to vacate.
Oh, I have a lot of people that happens to. Yeah, a lot of landlords that own homes, they've decided to sell the property, and and then the buyers they panic because they don't have any place to go, and then they go out there and they find out what reality is for rent, and it's a lot more than what they're used to paying. Yep. So
a lot of times they're locked in to a low rate for a while.
Yep.
And then the owner says, hey, I'll keep them in there and kind of utilize, as you mentioned, their rent incomes to pay my mortgage, so I don't want to rock the boat and have vacancy for a couple months. Right.
So a lot of them end up selling because it's, because it is a good market, and they end up selling it, and then the renters have to get out and find a place.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that's about our time for today. Just take a minute or so, Diane, and just talk about, the process, how you'd like people to contact you and what that looks like, the consultation. Of course, it could be over Zoom, I'm assuming, or phone calls, face-to-face meetings. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yep. So with the technology today, there's a lot of things we can do. A lot of people don't have the time to actually come in face to face, but we certainly do that as well. But they can contact me if they go to my website, DianeVance.com. That is my Fairway website. And if you click on the Apply Mortgage, or even if you want more information, it'll say find out more pre-qualification or something like that. And it'll notify me and I'll follow up with you. Or if you go in and do the application, it will actually walk you through everything that you need to get pre-approved. And if you get that, I usually will pre-approve you within about 24 hours. Sometimes if you're self-employed, it may be a little longer, but usually about 24 hours. And so we get you pre-approved, and then we'll set you up, with your realtor, and you can actually start going to shop for a home.
Excellent. All right. Good stuff. Thanks so much, Diane. Great information. Cash guarantee, close on time guarantee, and you buy or they pay $10K to the seller. So awesome. DianeVance.com. Thank you so much, Diane.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
My pleasure. Taking a quick break, coming back with Michael Watkins. He is a wealth of information. He wrote the book. He's an author. 401k Revival coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to ConsumerQB.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here for Cleaning Commandos here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Cleaning Commandos are hiring, and they're offering competitive wages, flexible hours, relaxed atmosphere, and a sign-on bonus. Reach out if you'd like a career with the Cleaning Commandos here in Tampa Bay. Info at cleaningcommandosllc.com or call 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550. Cleaning Commandos, Consumer Quarterback Show. Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. We are looking for real estate investors. We've got a new relationship bringing us a tremendous amount of off-market real estate investment opportunities. So text the word investor to our hotline, 813-750-0550. Off-market real estate investment opportunities. Text investor to 813-750-0550. Brandon Rhymes here, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, looking for real estate investors. Send us a text. Have you desired more income and more freedom in your life? Now is your time. Keller Williams Realty has just launched our own real estate school, and you can get licensed for free. I'm Brandon Rhymes, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And for the first 3 people who reach out, I will personally coach you. 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. ConsumerQB.com. ConsumerQB.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at ConsumerQB.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team. Pull out your smartphone. Do us a huge favor. Go to iTunes and download our podcast. Spotify or iTunes. Just go and download. I think you hit the plus sign up top and add new or add that. And just download our podcast. Just in case you can't catch us live, we got all of our shows there as well. So iTunes podcast. You can also go to YouTube, see our previous shows. And we've got 80 different categories, consumer advocate content and advice here every day to help you understand your buying decisions, keep you in tune with market changes. I mean, how great is that to have Diane come in and talk about a cash guarantee in this type of a market where there's a little bit of a shift happening, and we're able to keep you up to speed with that, keep you abreast of different changes in the marketplace. We love to do that, and it's our pleasure. 813-917-1894. brimes at kw.com. You can email brimes at kw.com. All right, got a hot property listing for this segment. We got a property at 14663 Village Glen Drive in Carrollwood. This is a beautiful property, 2 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, got a pool, got an outdoor kitchen, screened in lanai. A beautiful property, 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 1,951 square feet. Carewood Village, gorgeous, completely remodeled and renovated home. 14663 Village Glen Drive in Tampa. Beautiful real estate property, and you can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Buy dirt, find one you can't live without.
All right, so we've got a lot of great land listings as well. Kind of reminds me of that cool clip from that song I like. All right, so we've got Michael Watkins, Principal, Tampa Bay Advisory, on the program. Michael, how are you, sir? All right, Michael Watkins, Principal, Tampa Bay Advisory. Okay, so we don't have Michael. Thought we did, but we don't. All right, so we've got an interview coming up with him soon. He wrote a book, 401k Revival. Michael, can't hear you on my end. Jose, I'm not sure if you got Michael or not, but I can hear you.
Hello.
There he is. All right, Michael, how you doing, sir?
Okay, good. A little snafu there.
Excellent, excellent. So tell us about the book. Tell us about Principal. You're the principal of Tampa Bay Advisory.
So I wrote the book, the 401k Revival, for the average American investor. I tell a lot of the untold truths of 401k investing, and my newest book, Protecting Your Future with Tax-Free Long-Term Care, is something that I know that everyone that's starting to walk into that new retirement life needs to read this book.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think there's a lot of misconceptions with investing and retirement altogether, but just specifically to 401k, people have a lot of misconceptions, a lot of misnomers.
Yes, yeah, that's true. Misconceptions.
Yeah. Absolutely. So you wrote the book. You've got some interesting content in there for the 401k Revival, and let's jump into it. I know you help folks uncover potential retirement mistakes before they happen, but today's topic, falling off the retirement income cliff, sounds like a bit concerning there.
Yeah, well, it is, Brandon, and the income cliff is really one of the most obvious risks that retirees are facing today, but oddly enough, it's one of the most ignored areas, and just my personal opinion, I believe it has a lot to do with addressing uncomfortable topics. And actually, there's a few scenarios that can, create a tidal wave effect that can push you off that income cliff in the blink of an eye. And I'll just start with this. Most people are depending on their Social Security benefits for retirement income, right?
Right.
And, the big dilemma for retirees is, will my Social Security benefits provide enough monthly income to meet, the daily essential living costs like food, rent, utilities, medical expenses, and all that. Mm-hmm. But what happens when a spouse dies, Brandon?
Yeah, man, that's a good point, Michael. It seems like the emotional trauma alone would be, bad enough without having to deal with financial issues on top of losing a spouse. I mean, that's amazing. That's a crazy scenario that would play out. Have you ever known someone that had to go through that?
Well, yeah, I have, as a matter of fact, and two friends went through that, and it's really just the emotional capital that it takes for the surviving, for the the caregiving spouse, and ultimately the surviving spouse is just unbelievable. And so the Social Security Administration tells us that the average loss of benefits resulting from the death of a spouse is 42%.
42%. Let's leave it right there, Michael. That was our short segment, coming back into a longer segment with you right here on the flip side of this break. More with Michael Watkins, Tampa Bay Advisory, LLC, Retirement Income Planner. We'll be right back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Michael, let me know if you're ready to proceed. You're good? All right. It's Michael, right? Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Sports and Entertainment Division certified now. Real excited about that addition. And luxury division, commercial properties as well, vacant land as well. We got a lot of vacant land properties. You can invest in land and buy dirt, as our song says there. But yeah, we'd love to help you buying, selling, or investing here in Tampa Bay. And we'd like to feature our listings on air. We help our sellers profit more and sell faster, utilizing our innovations with radio, TV, and internet marketing. 14121 7th Street in Dade City. We got a restaurant available for sale, and this is a great opportunity. I tell you, it's a plenty of parking. You've got a high walkability area in downtown Dade City. 14121 7th Street, Dade City. Got a restaurant here, 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment on site. So you've got the opportunity for a on-site manager to stay there and kind of protect your assets and be on site at all times. It's an established restaurant since 1990, downtown Dade City. 2 dining rooms upstairs. You've got a dining room downstairs as well. Just a beautiful property. Plenty of parking at 14121 7th Street in Dade City. And you can see all of our real estate listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
And quick shout out to our friends at Replenish IV Solutions. If you want a safe and effective way to get hydrated and boost your immunity, reach out to Stephen and Lisa Gunnan. Replenish IV Solutions, longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. They've got multiple Bay Area locations, or they will come to you as well. All right, we're back on the line here. We got Michael Watkins, principal. He's the principal of Tampa Bay Advisory. He's also author of the great book 401k Revival. So, Michael, yeah, we were kind of talking what happens when a spouse passes away, the grieving process, the emotional capital that kind of comes out of the surviving spouse. And you were going into a little bit of a story for us.
Yeah, so, it's the income cliff. So the Social Security Administration tells us the average loss of benefits that result from the death of a spouse is about 42%. Now, that's just on the Social Security benefits. And so, of course, the surviving spouse will receive the higher of the two benefits, but they cannot keep both of the benefits. So that's where the 42% comes in, and boom, that's an income cliff. But, Brandon, I found in my practice that a couple's true total combined retirement income drops between 35 and 65% when a spouse dies. So let's just average that out to be 50%. Mm-hmm. Now, that can be overwhelming, for the surviving spouse, which, by the way, usually is the wife.
Right. That's right. That's traditionally what happens. You see, the men typically go for, faster, and you got the heart issues and things of that nature. But yeah, we're talking with Michael Watkins here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. Tampa Bay Advisory LLC is his book. And speaking of Social Security, I've heard it said that Social Security in the year 2032 that's the date that it's going to plan on, being going bankrupt, I guess.
Well, yeah. Well, what that means is they're just not going to have the funds in there to pay the benefits that are currently being paid out. And what it looks like, Brandon, is that benefits will be cut by about 30%.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's something that people really need to plan on, and that's what I help people with. But with folks living longer, there's a very real risk at some point they will need, help managing their daily, living needs. And so here's a good example. Let's suppose a spouse who's in terrific physical shape develops a cognitive impairment and now becomes a danger to themselves and can't be left alone. That's a very complicated and difficult situation for someone to find themselves in. And, for one, it can be very expensive because these types of scenarios can last for many years. And two, it's emotionally and physically draining on the caregiver's spouse. And so, Brandon, have you ever known anyone that has had to go through this? I mean, it's not pretty.
Right. Yeah, you've seen it happen. I've seen it play out. You see that situation and kind of reminds you of your mortality, when you start thinking about it. It's like, especially, even myself, I had about, 18, 20 months ago, double bypass heart surgery. Could have been me, could have been, one of the statistics. So you got to get your planning in place. We're talking with Michael Watkins. He can help you do that. Tampa Bay Advisory. He's an income planner, retirement income planner, that is. He's also written a book, 401k Revival, Protecting Your Future with Tax-Free Long-Term Care. And yeah, there's also this thing called the tidal wave effect out there, Michael.
Yeah. So here's how that could occur. Let's suppose there's a couple and they roll the dice essentially, and for whatever reason they're just saying, hey, it's not going to happen to me, but it does happen.
Right.
Now what? Now what happens? So because they're unprepared for this type of care, they scramble to find the resources. And I think we can all agree, Brandon, that being forced to make financial decisions under duress often leads to, probably less than optimum results, and sometimes some big mistakes are made.
Right.
And there, boom, that's an income cliff. And so, let's suppose long-term care severely depletes a couple's assets, and then the spouse dies. Boom, income, cliff. And, just imagine being in the surviving spouse's place, and again, it's usually the wife.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it's fascinating information. I tell you, man, this is stuff you got to reach out. You got to talk to Michael and have him put together a plan. Go through what the risks are. It's kind of like your own personal SWOT analysis. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Businesses should be doing that every year, but you want to do that on a personal play as well, and kind of manage your household as a business as well. Michael, how can folks get in touch with you and learn more how to work with you?
Okay. Well, they can go to TampaBayAdvisory.com and book a call with me. There's a tab to do that. Or you can call my toll-free number at 1-844-603-1400. That's 844-603-1400. 603-1400. 603-1400. Good stuff. Mm-hmm. And what about the book? How can they get your book? Yeah, well, again, just go to, I tell you what, if you're listening to the show, I'll send you a free copy of it if you want to reach out to me on the website. Otherwise, you can get it through Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com.
Awesome. All right, good stuff. Well, thanks for that. You got the free book opportunity offer from Michael Watkins, Tampa Bay Advisory. Got that free book offer, the 401k Revival. And Michael, thanks for joining us. We appreciate those tidbits of information.
Hey, thanks, Brandon. Take care.
My pleasure. All right, so that was Michael Watkins, and does a great job with all of our folks that we send over there. So reach out. We'd love for you to support the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show and all of our expert contributors in 80 different categories here of consumer advocate content and advice. Coming up, we've got Jordan Bowman in the house, the AC guy of Tampa Bay, and she's the office manager over there, works with her father, Greg. And we have our feel-good story of the day. Divers recovered 12 tons of trash from Lake Tahoe. Pretty cool story about a scuba dive team. We'll be right back. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. We are looking for real estate investors. We've got a new relationship bringing us a tremendous amount of off-market real estate investment opportunities. So text the word investor to our hotline, 813-750-0550. Off-market real estate investment opportunities. Text investor to 813-750-0550. Brandon Rhymes here, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, looking for real estate investors. Send us a text.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes, Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace, making you more street smart on the show here. And we always like to feature our real estate listings live on the show. We got a property at 1211 Parsons Avenue. This is a commercial property that we've got listed over in Brandon. It's in a highly trafficked area, completely renovated, beautiful property here. 1211 Parsons Avenue in Brandon. 12 treatment rooms, so it's perfect for a doctor, chiropractor, dentist. It's laid out ideal for that use. 1211 North Parsons Avenue in Brandon, Florida. Almost 2,200 square feet, ample parking. Beautiful property. It's got a front desk and a reception area as well, and it's on a major thoroughfare in Brandon, Florida. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75. Tell me something good.
All right, so this is our feel-good story. Divers recovered 12 tons of trash from Lake Tahoe. A scuba dive team has removed more than 12 tons of submerged trash from Lake Tahoe during a year-long cleanup mission. They talk about on the date that they mention here, the cleanup of the Lake Scuba Dive Team embarked on an extraordinary effort to recover submerged litter around the 72 miles of Lake Tahoe shore. The nonprofit has announced that they have officially completed the project over the past year. They said they were, dealing with COVID and wildfire-related challenges. Every opportunity to complete this unforgettable effort. So it goes on to talk about the numbers. So they collected 24,979 pieces of litter and bringing the total weight to 25,281 pounds, which is 12.64 tons. So pretty cool. They removed a lot of plastic bottles, cans, and other typical litter, but items that include engagement rings. They also found engagement rings, 1980s Nikon film cameras, entire lamppost, no littering signs, which is interesting. Massive pieces of broken down boats and engine blocks, lost wallets, phones, and other things as well. So there you go. Feel good story of the day, cleaning up Lake Tahoe. All right, welcome in Jordan Bowman. Pleasure to have you back in studio.
Thanks for having me back.
My pleasure, absolutely. So last time you were on the show, you were talking a little bit about some of the upgrades and technology that you made to the website, acguyoftampa.com.
Yeah. So we actually have a scheduling platform now online. So if you are at work in the middle of the day and you don't want to call in, you can go to our website and you can schedule yourself, which is pretty amazing. You can get pretty much any service you want scheduled.
Yeah.
And if there's any reason you want to call in, obviously you can, but it'll get you at least on the board, and then we can go from there. So.
Yeah, I like that. Sometimes I'm guest on other podcasts and things like that. I love it when they just send over a link. It says, hey, just click on this link and schedule the best time, and it has the days and times in there. And,
yeah.
Same thing for our real estate listings when it comes time to scheduling a showing for real estate agents. What they kind of see through the MLS is just a kind of a calendar. Boom, click there. You can where it's blacked out. Maybe the seller doesn't want anybody coming in for this certain period or whatnot. But yeah, technology's great.
Yeah, it really is.
When it works.
Exactly.
And it's frustrating when it doesn't.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. So.
Yeah, it's exciting. Actually, there's something I want to talk with you about today. It was something interesting my dad found out recently. So there's this thing called the HVAC Producer Price Index, which is similar to the Consumer Price Index.
Yeah.
And what I want to tell everybody and encourage them is now is the time to buy an AC system. And the reason is because this price index was started in 2003. And from 2003 until 2021, which is 18 years, it rose 60%. And then from 2021 to 2022, like April of 2022, it rose 40%. So in 1 year, it rose 40%.
Unbelievable.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
So what we're finding is obviously prices are skyrocketing across America, across everywhere. But in the HVAC industry, it's skyrocketing a lot. So we're telling people, if you're going to buy, if you need to upgrade, do it now and finance. Because if you can't afford it now, maybe cash. If you can finance it at like, say, 10% APR, you're going to save money because next year we're expecting it to keep raising. We're not expecting it to go down.
It's not going to go down until there's some changes made. But yeah, so HVAC, you look at producer price index, just like the consumer price index, which is very interesting, and how they kind of compute that. And a lot of people are saying, of course, they say inflation's 7 or 8%. It's probably much higher. I mean, if you really break down the numbers, how much you paid, when you go to Publix a year ago versus now, it's much more than 8% or 7%. But that's what the Washington bureaucrats do. So you're saying specifically to the HVAC industry, there is a producer price index.
Exactly, yeah. And that's parts, equipment, and from like last year, early 2021 until just like April last month, it has raised like exponentially. 40% in comparison to like an 18-year period with 60%. That's like crazy. And we are seeing that. We've like had some clients that we gave them estimates last year and they weren't ready, and then we came out again, and like the increase is pretty high. And that's just the parts, and that's just like the equipment. So like obviously we have to keep up to with labor rates, to pay our employees well so they can, feed their families.
That's right.
So we're having huge just increase. So telling people, buy now.
It's frustrating. And I kind of think about that too in the real estate business. The conventional wisdom too was back, even like 4, 5, 6 years ago, we still had low inventory. We've been complaining about low inventory, but back then I used to be able to say, back 6 years ago, say, look, if you don't like what you're seeing in terms of a resale, meaning buying an existing home that's already built and somebody's lived in, then you might want to look at vacant land. That was a viable option 5, 6 years ago. They could buy vacant land, build. That's actually what my wife and I did. We built, on Lake Tarpon and we built the way we wanted and all the perks and pluses that come with that. But now, to go out and do that, you look at the cost of everything doubling, quadrupling in some cases, especially those materials needed to build a home. Man, I feel bad for people at this point.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah. It's tough. Bad. And the middle class gets hit the hardest. That's what really frustrates me. Seniors get hit. And it's a lot about the quantitative easing. And, speaking about that producer price index for the HVACs, it's related to the amount of government spending that we've had, some of the problems with the ports. But yeah, they printed so much money. You've got this quantitative easing going on and on and on, government spending. And then that trickles down and that starts affecting everyone. Yeah. So I feel bad for the middle class, that low to middle income earner that is just getting hammered with taxes now. They're going to get hammered with the inflation. The cost to buy everything is going up.
Yeah.
So that leads to maintenance, right?
Yes.
What can you do? Okay, well, we got to maintain this existing HVAC, and some homes have 2 or 3 HVACs.
Exactly, yeah. Actually, I might have mentioned this last time I was here. The amount of use you put on your HVAC system a year is basically equivalent to driving your car around for 75,000 miles.
Wow.
You would never drive your car that much without doing an oil change, without doing some kind of checkup. You have to. You're just going to shoot yourself in the foot if you don't.
Yep.
A lot of people surprisingly don't think about that with their HVAC system, but this is like a piece of equipment that's like running night and day to keep you cool.
Yeah.
It's an investment, so you want to maintain that unit.
And there's no dashboard flashlight to flashing light to come out and say, hey, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Change your air filters. Call the AC guy in Tampa Bay. It's time to get that service done. Car typically every 3,000 to 5,000 miles, depending on if you got synthetic oil or whatnot, right? So with the AC system in your home. What's recommended?
At least you have to do it at least once a year. We do it twice a year. That's what we recommend. That's why we have our VIP program, which I know you're on. A lot of people know about. Basically, that's every 6 months we come out and we do a service for you.
Yeah.
1 inspection a year, 1 cleaning a year. We want to make sure that your system's running to the best of its ability, and we're keeping it up, and we're catching any problems that may come about. So we suggest twice a year, but at least once a year, because that's what's going to keep your warranty valid with the manufacturer.
Oh, perfect.
If you don't do that, again, might be shooting yourself in the foot a little bit.
That's an interesting caveat, yeah.
Exactly.
So in the fine print of those warranties, and it's almost like at the end of a commercial where it's, blah, blah, real fast, right? But in the fine print, it says what? That you have to have it serviced twice a year in order for this warranty to stay valid?
Yes. Once a year is what they say. So obviously we go above and beyond. We do twice a year because that's what we think is better, but it has to be at least once a year. So,
right.
So we always tell everybody at least once a year. keep that warranty valid.
Yeah, we're talking with Jordan Bowman here, AC Guy of Tampa Bay. She's the office manager online, acguyoftampa.com. Of course, social media, very active on social media as well. I saw that flyer that you emailed out too. I actually shared that to my story, so hopefully people were able to see that. But Jordan Bowman's in studio, and I was going to ask you, we talked about the VIP program. What's the cost, though? Because it's very nominal fee.
Yeah, actually, in June 1st, it's raising, so it's going to $16 a month, but it has been $15 a month. So I'm not sure when this is going on air, but before June 1st, if you're thinking about it, obviously sign up. The thing that's great about it, as long as you don't cancel, whatever cost you're paying is what you pay. It will not raise unless for some reason your membership cancels. So that's a great thing, because that means you can be on for years on end and you're going to stay at the price that you paid when you first got on and not with the increase.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome, Jordan. Now, we've had Dan Fika on the show. What's Dan doing today? Is he out in the field?
He's at an estimate. Yeah. He was actually caught up there today. I know he was supposed to come in, but he got caught up trying to get someone a good quote on a new system.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And Greg, how's Greg doing?
He's doing great. Yeah, actually, I was texting him on my way. Well, not on my way, because you don't text and drive. But I was calling him, and then he texted me some information to talk about. He's
maybe
doing
at the
great.
red light you can squeeze him
exactly.
in.
Maybe shouldn't, but yeah.
That's what I do, at least. It's like, if you don't reply to some people, sometimes it's like, wait, what's going on? I'm like, okay, I got a 40-minute drive here. But yeah, so when you think about that, so we've talked about that, the air filter being cleaned, and then you also have these different systems now that you can add on. I think that's what the flyer was about.
Yes.
It was about adding on a system with some of these lasers to clean the air.
Air purifier. Yeah, exactly. We have quite a few options for those. Basically what it does is there's a lot of different ways it does it, but across the board, it's just purifying and cleaning your air. Sometimes there's options for dust. There's options for scent and odors. But regardless, most of it's making your air better quality, which obviously last year was a great thing because of everything going on with COVID. But regardless, it's a great option, especially if you have allergies or if you're really sensitive to certain things. It's a great thing to get added.
Well, they're already planning another one, so just go ahead and get this. I'm talking about a pandemic. They're already planning a pandemic again. If you hear social media with Bill Gates and the World Economic Forum, they just met in Geneva, Switzerland. So they already have their plans in place with the WHO, the World Health Organization. So you might as well get
ahead of the curve. Yeah,
get your system in place. And if you think about it too, we can't see the air. It's one of those things, you can see it on your air filter every 6 months, right? You can see that it's pulling out all these dust mites, these dander, all this stuff in there. So bio type stuff hanging around in there, and we know that people die of lung cancer. And we would know that happens. So that's a good system to have if you're in a position to spend a little extra money on something like that. But I would recommend it. We actually put it on our home, and because my wife has some allergies and asthma type stuff. So it's just good to know that when you're walking around your home, it's clean air, it's free of some of those contaminants that you might find inside.
Actually, a little tidbit of knowledge for the consumers is when you're going to replace like bulbs, there's certain ones you can buy that are like you don't have to do any maintenance, which is the iWave, which is amazing. But some of them you have to replace the bulb every 2, 4, or 5 years.
Yeah.
I suggest always get it from like us or like any kind of dealer, because if you get it online off of Amazon, we had a client recently who had this happen, and we always warn against it. So I want to warn people. They sometimes are not the actual brand, and then it's kind of off-brand. If you put it in your system, it can actually ruin your whole system.
And what is this now? The bulb you mentioned?
The bulb, yes.
Okay,
the bulb needs replaced, yes.
Inside these
Correct.
Units?
Yes,
okay.
Inside these units, every so often you'll need to have that bulb replaced. Similar to maintenance with the filters. You'll have to have it replaced because it'll burn out. It won't last forever.
Interesting.
So when you get them replaced, make sure you're getting them from your dealer, because if you get it online on Amazon, they'll even have it at the bottom. Like, people will review these Amazon products and be like, this ruined my whole thing. It'll burn out the ballast because it's not made for that piece of equipment.
Interesting.
Exactly. So you're saving like maybe $20 to $50 when you buy it online, but then you're spending more, like hundreds more, to replace the unit.
And they should have some kind of a light indicator too that'll go from green to red or something like that.
I think some of them do, yes. And then also if you have the maintenance, the tech will notice it. We also have on our system where we keep track of our customers' bulbs, and we'll check in with them on it.
Awesome. Always a pleasure, Jordan. Thanks for coming in. And you want folks to hit you up on social media too? Where can they find you?
Great question. I'm not sure what the Facebook one is.
Go to
I know
the website, acguyoftampa.com.
Exactly.
VANCE guy of Tampa.com. And another great show. Want to thank all of our expert contributors. Diane Vance talked about that cash guarantee, close on time guarantee program they have with Fairway Independent, and also Michael Watkins and Jordan Bowman. Thank you so much. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rhymes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.